My name is Elysia English and welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how you can turn your old crayons into cash. Being a mom who runs their own handmade business inspired my two young sons to run their own, so we created a little project that they could take to join me at our local craft show. The project that they came up with was actually inspired by a DIY that we did at home one night. It turned out so well that children thought that other kids would enjoy it too. So we hit the craft store with a list of supplies we would need to turn our fun DIY into a business. For this project, you're going to need a few materials. You want to make sure you use non-toxic crayons such as Crayola, some silicone molds, a baking sheet, and a bowl. You're also going to need an oven set to 200 degrees. We purchased a case of crayons because we were going to be using this as a business. If you're just making this at home, you can purchase a box of crayons for about $1 to $1.50 depending on where you buy them. Buying them wholesale will save you in the long run to increase your profit margin. The first thing you're going to do is take your crayons and immerse them into some warm water. Not totally boiled water, but definitely warm enough that it's kind of hard to put your hands into it. Traditionally, to peel a crayon, you probably think you need a razor blade, X-Acto knife, and you're going to drag the blade down the side of the crayon, releasing the paper from the wax. The problem is, not only can you slip and cut your finger, but it takes a really long time, and when you're going to do hundreds and maybe even thousands of crayons, this takes a really long time. So I'm going to show you a tip that's a little bit of behind the scenes on how to make this a lot faster for you, and that is to submerge your crayons into this warm water that you've put in your bowl. And the warm water is going to loosen the glue that's on the crayons, releasing the paper. I'm just going to put a few into here, and then if it's not too hot, you can agitate them a little bit, and it will help release the paper. Now that I've peeled my crayons, I want to make sure I can use a baking sheet that's going to be only used for crayons, because as you can see, after a couple batches, it gets pretty messy and you definitely don't want to cook with this after. I purchased some silicone molds online, but you can buy them at a local craft store and even sometimes in the baking section of your department stores. There's a large variety of options for silicone molds, anywhere from animals to fantasy creatures, alphabets, and numbers. Now that your molds are flat on your tray and in place, you're going to take the crayons in any color combinations you want and break up pieces to put into your mold. If you want to make all tie-dye letters or shapes, you can put your crayons into a baggie and then crunch them up from there. That way you don't have to individually snap them. You want to make sure that your molds are nice and full without stretching the shape that you have already in your silicone mold. We're going to put these in the oven for a couple of minutes on 200, and what's going to happen is the wax is going to settle down where your molds no longer look full. So you want to make sure you have some readily available crayons to keep topping up your mold until you get the desired thickness. My suggestion is to make sure that your molds are nice and full, to make sure your crayons are really thick. It'll make popping them out, especially out of the alphabet molds, a lot easier in the end. Let's go fire up the oven. Now that my oven's warmed up, I'm going to put them in the oven for about 10 minutes. The crayons have been cooking on 200 for about 10 minutes. Now I'm going to add some additional crayons to fill up my molds. It's really tempting to want to heat your oven up nice and hot, even higher than 200 to make this process go faster, but it won't be very effective when doing your crayons. It will actually start boiling the wax. My crayon wax is now all melted, so I'm going to leave them out to cool for a little while till they're nice and solid. Once your crayon molds are nice and hardened, you get to do the fun part, which is popping them out to see the creations that you've made. I hope this video inspires you to think out of the box when you're thinking about what you could potentially use to make a business. We've been purchasing our crayon boxes for approximately $1 a box, and we've been selling each of our alphabets for $1.50. From a business standpoint, that means that for every $1 spent, we profited $17. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can support my channel by hitting like, subscribing to my channel, and sharing this with someone you think will enjoy it. I've had many inquiries on how you can show me the work that you've completed following my projects. Please leave your handles down below in the comment section. You can find all of my social media links down below in the description box. See you on the next project.